Your engine could fail years earlier than expected, and it's probably your fault. Every day, drivers make small mistakes that slowly ruin their engines. Most don't even know it's happening. From poor shifting to low RPM habits, these behaviors cause overheating, wear down internal parts, and lead to major repair bills. But they're easy to fix, if you catch them in time. Watch until the end to make sure you're not unknowingly shortening your engine's life. Number 1. Constant low RPM driving. Many drivers think low RPMs save fuel. It sounds logical, less power, less fuel, but modern engines don't work that way. Most European models use direct injection and turbocharging, which require a wide RPM range to operate correctly. Driving below 1500 RPM for too long causes multiple problems. Oil circulation is one. The oil pump needs engine speed to move oil through the system. At low RPMs, lubrication drops, especially at the crankshaft and camshaft, leading to increased friction and faster wear. Cylinder walls are another issue. Low RPMs can polish them too smooth, reducing their ability to hold oil. This wears piston rings faster and cuts efficiency. Direct injection engines also suffer carbon buildup when run too low. Deposits form on intake valves, reducing fuel economy and risking engine knock. Turbo engines face greater risk. Low-speed pre-ignition, LSPI, can cause severe internal damage. Cooling is also affected. At low RPMs, the water pump and radiator fans slow down, which increases the risk of overheating and head gasket failure. To avoid this, don't stay in high gear at low speeds. Downshift when needed. Occasionally revving the engine, sometimes called an Italian tune-up, helps burn off carbon deposits. With turbo engines, avoid flooring the gas at low RPMs. Use smooth acceleration instead. Number 2. Excessive idling. Letting the engine run while parked might seem harmless. Whether you're waiting for someone or warming up the car on a cold morning, it feels routine. But excessive idling quietly accelerates engine wear, wastes fuel, and increases emissions, especially in modern European vehicles. One key issue is oil degradation. At idle, the engine stays cooler than optimal, leading to incomplete combustion. That produces soot, which contaminates the oil and reduces its lubricating ability. Over time, this increases wear on internal parts. Carbon buildup is another problem. Unburned fuel leaves residue on spark plugs and intake valves. Diesel engines are even more sensitive. Prolonged idling can block the diesel particulate filter, DPF, which is expensive to fix. Other systems are also affected. With no airflow, the cooling system works harder to regulate temperature. Meanwhile, the alternator produces less power at idle, slowing battery recharge. Frequent idling stresses electrical components and can lead to long-term reliability issues. To avoid this, turn off the engine if you're stopped for more than a minute. This matters most in places like school zones or rail crossings. Avoid overusing remote start systems and plan routes to reduce time spent in traffic. Excessive idling might feel like a small habit, but over time it contributes to engine wear, clogs filters, and drains fuel economy.
Number 3. Excessive engine braking. Engine braking, letting off the accelerator or downshifting to slow down, can help reduce brake wear, especially on long descents. But using it too often or too aggressively puts unnecessary stress on parts that aren't built to handle it. Instead of brake pads absorbing the force, that load shifts to the transmission and engine mounts. Over time, these parts wear out faster. In manual cars, the synchronizers that match gear speeds face extra strain, making gear changes rough and eventually unresponsive. Automatic transmissions face similar risks. Forced gear changes during deceleration can misalign components or cause long-term wear. Repeated jolts also weaken engine mounts, increasing vibration and reducing driving comfort. There's also an environmental cost. Studies in Europe show 20 to 30% of particle emissions from deceleration come from engine braking. These nanoparticles often contain metals like zinc and phosphorus, which contribute to air pollution. If engine braking becomes a habit, the damage adds up. Worn synchronizers make shifting difficult. Damaged mounts create constant vibration. Worst case, the transmission fails, a repair that can cost €1,500 to €4,000 in Europe. Meanwhile, emissions rise and your car's performance and comfort decline. Engine braking has its place on steep roads or in emergencies, but relying on it too much wears down components not designed for braking. Stick to using the brake pedal when possible. Let your transmission and engine do their intended jobs, not absorb braking forces they weren't built for. Number 4. Running low on fuel. Letting the fuel level drop too low is more damaging than most drivers think. Whether you're in a hurry or trying to save money, driving with the warning light on can quietly wear out key engine components and lead to expensive repairs. The first part at risk is the fuel pump. It relies on fuel for cooling and lubrication. When the tank's nearly empty, the pump gets exposed to air, increasing heat and wear. Over time, dirt and debris settle at the bottom of the tank. Low fuel levels allow these particles to get sucked into the system, clogging the fuel filter and injectors. This reduces performance, increases emissions, and can cause misfires. A failed fuel pump typically costs €100 to €300 to replace, not including labour. Clogged injectors reduce engine efficiency and, if left unchecked, can damage the catalytic converter. That's one of the most expensive parts of the exhaust system. Diesel engines face added risk. Running low on diesel can introduce air into the system, leading to airlocks. These disrupt high-pressure fuel delivery and can severely damage diesel pumps, another costly fix. The solution is simple. Keep your tank at least 1/4 full. Check and replace your fuel filter regularly, and don't rely too heavily on the distance to empty reading. Those estimates aren't always accurate. Fuel isn't just about keeping the engine running, it's also cooling, lubrication, and protection for the entire system. Letting the tank run dry might seem harmless, but over time it leads to a long list of mechanical problems that cost far more than a quick stop at the pump.
Number 5. Switching from reverse to drive while moving. Shifting from reverse to drive while the car is still rolling may feel quick and harmless, but it's a major cause of transmission failure, especially in older vehicles without modern safeguards. When you switch gears before stopping, the transmission is forced to handle both braking and changing direction at once. That creates a sudden internal shock. Instead of slowing down using the brakes, the force transfers directly to clutch packs and transmission bands, components not designed to absorb that load. In older vehicles, this habit can cause rough shifting, gear grinding, or complete transmission failure. Even in newer cars with electronic protections, repeated stress adds up over time. The most common result is worn or damaged gear sets, which make future gear changes unpredictable and noisy. The damage is worse at higher speeds. Anything over 5 kilometers per hour increases the risk of internal damage. If the reverse gear disengages while the forward gear is already rotating in the opposite direction, components can jam or snap. In extreme cases, parts like the crankshaft or connecting rods can be affected. Transmission repairs are expensive. In Europe, replacements typically range from €2,000 to €5,000, depending on the car and severity of the damage. To avoid this, always come to a full stop before shifting between reverse and drive. Let the brakes do the work, not the transmission. If you're driving an older car without electronic shift protection, this habit becomes even critical. A few seconds of patience at low speeds can prevent thousands in future repairs and extend the life of your drivetrain. Number 6. Ignoring air filter maintenance. The engine air filter is often overlooked, but it plays a critical role in protecting your engine from internal wear. Its job is simple. Stop dust, dirt, and debris from entering the combustion chamber. When the filter is neglected, airflow drops, combustion weakens, and fuel economy suffers. A clogged air filter disrupts the balance between fuel and air. Less oxygen means inefficient combustion, which increases fuel consumption and creates carbon deposits on pistons and valves. Over time, this buildup affects performance and can lead to costly repairs. In Europe, strict emission standards make air filter maintenance even more important. A dirty filter can push a car out of compliance by raising emissions, especially if the engine struggles to breathe under load. Performance is another red flag. If you notice poor acceleration, difficulty starting, or dark smoke from the exhaust, your air filter could be the problem. Replacing it is quick and inexpensive, usually between €20 and €50, but delaying service can lead to long-term engine damage worth thousands. Routine inspection is key. Most manufacturers recommend replacing the air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 kilometers, but it may need to be done sooner in dusty or polluted environments. Check your owner's manual for exact intervals. Replacing the air filter on time helps your engine breathe properly, burn fuel efficiently, and stay within emissions limits. It's one of the cheapest ways to protect your engine and one of the easiest to overlook.
Number 7. High gear acceleration. Accelerating in too high gear is a common mistake, especially in modern vehicles with 8 or 9-speed transmissions. Drivers stay in higher gears to save fuel, but forget to downshift when more power is needed. This forces the engine to struggle, creating stress and long-term wear. At low RPMs, flooring the gas doesn't help. The engine lacks torque, but combustion pressure spikes. This uneven load strains pistons, connecting rods, and crankshaft bearings. Over time, it can cause serious internal damage or even full engine failure. Another issue is engine knock, when fuel ignites unevenly in the cylinders. These small, uncontrolled explosions chip away at internal components. Combined with excessive heat from lugging the engine, this leads to faster oil breakdown and reduced protection. Ironically, fuel economy suffers too. The engine burns more fuel to compensate for the lack of power, making it less efficient overall. Performance drops and the car feels sluggish and unresponsive. The fix is simple. Downshift when merging, overtaking or climbing hills. For petrol engines, staying between 2,000 and 4,000 RPM is ideal. For diesels, 1,500 to 3,500 RPM is safer. Many modern European cars have gear shift indicators, GSIs, to guide efficient driving. Pay attention to them. Using the right gear at the right time improves efficiency, protects your engine, and keeps your car running smoother for longer. If you found this guide useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who drives every day. One small habit could be saving or destroying their engine.